Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WPMM online radio.
Yeah, you are now tuned into The Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The truth with G. The truth with G. The man right here. 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 All right. Welcome back to the show. You are listening to The Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham. You know me as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is well. It's Thursday. It is Thursday. We are on the way to the weekend. One more day. We are on the way to the weekend. Can't wait. People on my job are getting on my last nerve. Trying not to cuss this week. Trying desperately not to cuss nobody out this week, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a great week, and hope you have an even better weekend to come. So I want to thank you for joining me once again on The Truth with G right here on WPMM online radio. And tonight's almost a special night. We're not exactly on the date yet, but we're coming up to the date. This is the last show I will be doing before my show turns 3 years old. So want to hear from you tonight. But again, thank you so very much for tuning in, listening. I want to thank my listening audience. Anyone who has listened to me over the last 3 years, I want to thank you for tuning in, even if it's for a short time. I want to thank my long timers, my ride or dies. I want to thank you for tuning in with me as well. So I tell everybody in the world I have the greatest audience ever. And I truly believe that. So I do this for you guys. So if it wasn't for you, I would not be sitting here today. So thank you so very much. But we are WPMM online radio, where we play the best in R&B, jazz, neo soul, talk, independent hip hop, and old school music. You can listen from the website at WPMMradio.com. You can go to the website. You can listen on iTunes as well. You can tell Alexa to play WPMM radio. She will oblige as well. Also, you can download the app. You can go to Google Play Store and download the app, or the Apple Store, depending on the device that you have. And you can also listen live on Facebook. We're on my Facebook page. We're on WPMM Facebook page under Jeffrey Dawson. And we are under the umbrella of Changing Horizon Media Group, LLC. The views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, or anyone or anything. Now that we have got the particulars out the way, once again, thank you for tuning in. If you're on Facebook, let me know. Hit a thumbs up or heart, do something. Let me know you're out there on Facebook. Mr. John Adams has checked in with me. Good evening, Mr. John. Good to see you on here today. If you are on Facebook, and if you have someone who may not be as tech savvy that can navigate social media, if you will, just text them, WPMMradio.com. WPMMradio.com. Just text that to them. All they have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can listen to the show as well. But as we're saying, we are celebrating 3 years on WPMM, The Truth with G. The 30th is the exact date. I think today is the 26th, if I'm 27th. It's the 27th. So 3 more days. Saturday's date, the 30th, is the date that we started the show. And seemed like these 3 years have just kind of flew by. It don't seem like it's been that long. And it's been a great ride. I tell you, it's been a great ride. We're going to kind of reflect a little bit on that as far as the show goes. I do want to hear from you guys. I'll put the number on the screen here in just a moment. I do want to hear from you because I want to know what you think. You know, if you think I'm doing a good job, let me know. If you think I'm doing a bad job, let me know. If it's been a topic that I haven't talked about that you want to talk about and discuss, let me know. We'll put that on the agenda, and we'll discuss it. I tell you, I will discuss anything with substance. Anything with substance. If I don't know about it, I'll find out about it. So I promise you, I will, because that's what we do here on the show. We're also going to try to figure out a couple other things after we kind of venture down memory lane, if you will, in regards to the show. We're going to look at a few other items. The Republicans are going crazy over the Hunter Biden situation. We'll talk about that a little bit. Also, Rudy Giuliani is an asshole. If you don't know who Rudy Giuliani is, he's the former mayor of New York, former attorney for the Orange Idiot, and now he's a senile drunk. But he has ruined a couple people's lives in Georgia, and he's finally confessing that he told lies about that situation. Also, we're going to discuss a little bit about the indictment that's maybe coming down against the Orange Idiot as well. Looks like they're poised for him to be arrested a third time. Talk about that as well. The local violence here is still outrageous. I was going to talk about that on last show. I actually did not get to it, so we'll try to tackle that one as well. And Biden situation with Biden, and let me put Mitch McConnell on there, because I don't know if y'all saw the video where Mitch McConnell was doing a press conference. If you don't know who Mitch McConnell is, he's the Senate Majority Leader. And he was doing a press conference, and he kind of froze, literally froze. Not in the cold sense, but just kind of deer in the headlights kind of sense. He just froze. And they talk about Biden being old, but Biden has never his brain never just shut down. And McConnell was in a position where he couldn't figure out what planet he was on for a minute there. See, Mr. Adams, we're not even going to fool with you tonight. I'm not even going to read your comment, because you got jokes. You got jokes. Just let you know that everything in the studio works fine, Mr. Sir. Miss Watkins has joined us as well. Good evening, Miss Watkins. Good to see you on here. That's one of my ride or dies there. Appreciate you joining me. So, 3 years on the Truth with G, WPMM online radio. It's been a fantastic ride. Just kind of go back, if you will. Let's go back. And I do want to hear from you guys as well. If you got anything, want to show some love, whatever the case may be, critique, should tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I can do better, what have you. We'll take your phone calls, and I'll get the number up here on the screen here in just a moment. Should be in the ticker on the bottom screen if you are listening on Facebook. If you're out there in online radio land, 850-221-0396 is the number to call. So, but just taking a look back. 3 years. 3 years ago, it'll be 3 years on the 30th. Mr. John said about Ms. Biden is falling up the hill. I fall up the stairs all the time. That's common. But I ain't never just froze. My brain ain't never fell in my drawers, and I couldn't remember what to say next. But I fell up the stairs, fell down the stairs too. So that's common. So I can't count that on old age, because we've been doing that for a long time now. But 3 years. 3 years. 3 years ago on the 30th, I started the show. I did the first show on The Truth with G. And I'll be honest with you guys, it was a nerve-wracking hour, if you will, because prior to doing the show, how I got started in this, just give you a little background. How I got started doing this is I started on Facebook. And the reason why I started putting information out on Facebook is because I was I'm not real quick to be irritated, but I can be irritated real quickly. If that makes any sense. I know it probably don't make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. But I like to engage in conversation, in meaningful conversation. Even though I like to shoot the shit sometime. There's a time and a place to the locker room talking, shooting the shit, and talking to the fellas on the block or what have you. There's a time and a place for that, but at the same time, there's a time and a place. You on one today, Mr. John. But there's a time and a place for everything. But I like to engage in meaningful conversation. And what I was finding, and especially, and not to say anything negative about Pensacola, especially in Pensacola, if you will, I was finding that I couldn't engage in those type of conversations because oftentimes I would be talking to people who didn't know what I knew, if you will. Not that I know everything. I never claim to know everything, but I continue to learn. But I would get in conversations and I would bring up political, social issues, things concerning bills that's passing through Congress and things that's going on in our legislation with our legislators and things of that nature. I would bring that up and nobody would know what the hell I was talking about. And if you are talking to a lot of people and people who don't know what you're talking about, normally that means that you're giving a lecture. Now you're trying to teach or to educate people on different topics, if you will. But I like to engage in dialogue, in a conversation where it's back and forth. And I kept getting irritated because I could not often find that. Not that I couldn't find it, but I couldn't find it as often as I would like to find it. So what I decided, especially when Facebook came along and I found how to hit a couple of buttons to work Facebook or what have you. It's like, okay, I got a platform here. I have a platform. I can get on this Facebook and I can talk and I can tell people about things that's going on in our government, going on our local government, our state government, our federal government, what's going on in the community, things going on with votes and things of that nature. I can get on here on Facebook and tell people and educate people on these type of things. So I started doing that. I started doing my lives on Facebook or what have you, and I got decent response to it. And I just happened to be on Facebook, and I seen a couple of shows that WPMM was putting on or what have you. So I reached out to WPMM. Reached out to Miss Sarah, Queen Sarah, and I messaged her to say, look at my Facebook page. This is the type of content that I talk about. I want to be a guest on your show. Yeah, I was asking to be a guest. I had no idea, no inkling that a show was going to come about. I was asking to be a guest on the show. And she went on my page and looked to see what I talk about and how I talk, and things of that nature. And next thing you know, he hit me up. And lo and behold, I did not know that she was connected with JD, Mr. Jeffrey Dawson. I'm sorry, I'm about to say Daniels. But didn't know that they was connected at the time. And me and JD had knew each other prior to, and we had actually, Mr. John. I ain't fooling with you tonight, Mr. John. But few years back, probably about 5 or 6 years prior to my show starting, me and JD actually had a conversation about doing something on the radio. and you know that was a one-time conversation. Might have been once or twice, maybe we had a once or twice conversation about it. However, I never pursued it because, you know, I wanted my show to be real, and if I did a show, I wanted to be truthful and honest. And at that point in my life, as far as the way I was going about things, you know, at that point in time, I was still in the process of learning to be truthful all the time, if you will. And I would say things that people wanted to hear just for the sake of them wanting to hear them, and sparing people's feelings and this, that, and the other, and not being honest. And I had to get out of that phase in my life. And I knew that I wasn't in a situation where I could do a show where I am telling other people truths, and I'm not being truthful myself, if you will. So anyway, a few years pass, what have you, and I make the connection with Sarah and JD, and when I talk to them, I'm thinking that they calling me to be on Sarah's show. But they called me and they asked me about doing my own show, which was a surprise to me. And I was like, at that point in time, I was like, cool, I'm ready. I'm in a good space in my life. I can now get on here and try to inspire, educate, and uplift, as my logo says. And that's when everything got put into motion. And my first show, I never forget my first show. And I had been used to public speaking. I had been used to talking, you know, in front of crowds and, you know, doing training sessions, all kind of things where I had to speak in front of people. And I got on my first show, and Dread Eye, at that point in time, he was engineering the show. And when Dread Eye told me that first show, I remember my wife being in the room, Sarah was in the room, JD was there, Dread Eye was there engineering. Those were the people in the room at the time. We was at the old studio out at Ellison Industrial Park. And when Dread Eye said, "You are live," I probably could have peed on myself at that point in time. Never thought that I would have an issue. Never thought that I would be nervous about anything. Never thought that I'd be shocked or what have you. But when he said, "You're live," it's like I panicked. And I actually went back and listened to my first show. And the terror in my voice, even though I tried to hide it, the sheer terror that I had in my voice, it resonates to this day when I listen to that show. But I got through that show. And right after the show, I listened to it. Right after the show, what have you, I had some people call me and tell me some things about the show, whatever. And I just knew I just had to calm down. You know, I know I'm kind of laid back or whatever, but I didn't get hyped or I started screaming or anything. It's just, I needed to just calm down and just be me. And I could see the development in the shows as time goes on. I can see the shows getting better and better. I can see myself getting better at interacting with, you know, me being on the show by myself and guests that come in the studio, guests that's online with me, guests that's on the phone. I can see the evolution. And, you know, 3 years later, I think I'm in a pretty good place. I have got a lot of positive feedback in regards to the show, in regards to the content of the show, in regards to the flow of the show. You know, especially, you know, what really warms my heart is when someone comes up to me and tells me, you know, you're doing a good job. And, you know, I enjoy listening to you because you tell it like it is. You educate us on what's going on. And, you know, I have people tell me that they never even listen to the news, because the news is so hard to keep up with, and they try to talk over your head and this, that, and other. And like I said, the greatest joy is for someone to come up to me and tell me that they listen to the show and they appreciate what I do and they understand what I be saying. And that was the whole purpose. And it wasn't really for me to do it for my own enjoyment, because it's a task. I promise you, it is a daunting task to do what I do. I'm not big time. I'm not the Steve Harvey morning show or Ricky Smiley or anything like that, where they have all these people around them to do all the legwork. I have to produce my own shows. I have to get my own guests. I have to get questions ready for my guests. I have to get subject matter together for each and every show. I don't come on the show empty-handed. Anything that I come on the show and talk about, I've researched it, which takes time. And when you have to research your show, when you have to plan your show, when you have to set up your guests, when you have to produce your show, when you have to engineer your own show, and all that good stuff, it's time consuming. And the only thing I get out of it is knowing that people are listening and people are getting something out of what I have to say. So the phone lines are open, 850-221-0396 if you want to call in and show some love real quick. I think we do have a caller on the line. Who do we have today?
Hey, what's happening, man? What's happening?
What's going on,
Happy anniversary to you, man. Happy anniversary.
Appreciate that, Mr. John. And you was giving me a hard time earlier.
No, I wasn't, man. I just want to let everybody know, man, you a bad brother, man. You a bad brother. Cause the first time I came to the studio, man, at Ellison Field, man, you had a whole slew of people around you, man, showing you how to do that show, man. I mean, I've seen like 4-5 individuals in there pushing buttons and playing music and stuff, man, and getting you on Facebook and wiping out microphones and stuff, man. Now look at you. Yeah, sitting up there now, man, with just you. You the bad brother, man. I want to be like Gerald Graham when I grow up, man. That's who I want to be, man. I want to be you, man. What do I got to do to be you when I grow up, man?
I don't want you to be me. I want you to be better than me.
Nah. If I'm you, bro, I'm gonna be all right, man. I'm gonna be okay. You the man. You the man, bro. You got it made, bro.
Man,
you got your beautiful wife keeping you straight, man. You know, you got all them boys and stuff, man. You the man, bro. Loan me $5, man. I need $5.
I appreciate you, Mr. John. I tell you, like I said, it's been a adventure, man. And like I say, when you, I think the first time you came in the studio, I had engineers and people that was engineering the show, whatever you, and I didn't know which button was which and what to touch and what not to touch, but as I grew and came along, I'm at the point where I engineer my own shows, and one day I'm gonna get some people. One day.
I mean, you've done a lot, man. You've had some town hall stuff, man, and you've hosted karaoke nights and things, man, and you're giving money out to the homeless and charity for Christmas and stuff, man. You a bad brother, man.
Well,
you a bad brother, man. God gonna show them bless you, man. So that's what I say, man. I just want to touch the hem of your garment, and I'll be all right, bro.
Well, I appreciate you, Mr. John. I know you one of the ones that started listening early on in the beginning, and 3 years later you're still hanging on. So I really do appreciate
because you let me come in here run my mouth. That's why I do it, man.
Hey, that's what the show is about. It's a platform for the people. Hey, long as you come on talking with some substance, we cool. But we don't deal in gossip over here. We don't deal in gossip and lies or anything. Long as you come on with some substance, that's what it's all about.
So if I decide to be a Trump supporter tomorrow, man, you're gonna kick me off the show, right?
No, if you decide to be a Trump supporter, I'm bringing you on and ask you what the hell wrong with you. I ain't gonna shut you up. I'm gonna pick your brain and see what when you drink the Kool-Aid, what exactly happened to you.
But see, that's the thing, right? it wasn't Kool-Aid, it was Flavor Aid. They were too damn cheap to buy Kool-Aid down in Jonestown.
Is that what it is?
It was Flavor Aid. It really was. It was Flavor Aid. It wasn't even Kool-Aid, man.
Oh,
that's a misconception. It was Flavor Aid.
Yeah, that Flavor Aid was 10 cents a pack. That Kool-Aid 25 cents a pack.
Yeah, that's how cheap they were. That's how cheap they were, man. Well, listen, might as well go off, man. Tell you, I love it. Nothing you can do about it. And you keep doing what you're doing, man. We holler at you later on, man.
All right, Mr. John, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man. Be good.
All right.
Have a good show. Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. 850-221-0396 is the number to call if you want to show a brother some love today. Appreciate Mr. John. Mr. John been with me for a minute. He been riding with me for basically since the beginning. When I first started, he was listening. I have a few other people that's missing. Miss Saber is on. I get to see you there, Miss Saber. Miss Dorothy Saber is a long timer as well. She's been around for a while. Listening to the show. Her, Mr. Oscar. Hope y'all are doing well. God bless you. God bless you. So, but what we're doing today, we're celebrating 3 years on the Truth with G on WPMM online radio, and just kind of going down memory lane. I just kind of gave the synopsis of how the show came about, and since I started the show, I've had some great people to come on the show, and I wish I could have more and more guests on the show. But I've kind of not that I've intentionally slowed down on getting guests. Here's my dilemma when it comes to getting guests. I like to accommodate my guests. I like to make sure that everything is in order when they come on the show. But what I'm finding is that, with working a full-time job during the daytime and then coming on the show basically right after I get off work, it's kind of hard to make sure everything is in place. Because when I'm at work during the day, I have to work. Let's put it that way. I can't, venture off and start doing other things when I'm supposed to be doing the work that pays the bills. Because of my workload. My caseload is too high with what I do or whatever, and it requires my attention, for those 8 hours, Monday through Friday. So I only have a little bit of time between my day job and coming on the air, and it's hard. So I kind of slow down, but at the same time, I do try to line up guests, and even the process of getting guests on the show is a tedious and a task as well, trying to get everybody scheduled to line up. So, but I would love to have more and more guests, and we're going to work on that this year. For this fourth year, we're going to work on having more guests. But I only bring people on that has something to say, because again, on this show, we don't deal in gossip, we don't deal in foolishness. We don't deal in lies. We don't deal in he say, she say. We deal in facts. And that's exactly how we roll on this show. So we're going to have more and more guests on. But I have a little bit of everybody that has been through this show in the past 3 years. And, everybody from county commissioners to city council members to the sheriff of Pensacola, candidates for office, winning candidates, if you will. I've had women on talking about women issues. I've had people on talking about relationships. It's over the 3 years, it's been a lot of guests on. I had a couple people that had wrote books. That had came on the show to talk about their writings and their book. But, I've had all kind of people on the show. And like I say, I'm looking to have more and more guests on the show in this coming year. So be ready for that. I've had educators on the show to talk about our school systems. Still have one of those shows coming up. We've had a gun forum, a town hall type meeting, if you will, We held a town hall meeting as well on the show, and it went very well. We're going to plan something, another one here coming up in this year as well. So it's been a lot that we've done here on the show. I do want to shout out to Mr. Jeffrey Dawson, Mr. JD, as he known that. I want to shout out to Mr. JD and also his counterpart, Miss Sarah, because they seemed fit to give me a platform. They saw that what I had to say was meaningful. It was meaningful enough for me to represent WPMM and Changing Horizon Media Group. And I want to thank them for the opportunity to do that, to come on. Again, I just thought I was coming on to do as a guest on someone else's show. And it turns out that I was groomed, if you will, unconsciously groomed to do my own thing. So shout out to Mr. Jeff Dawson and his wife, Sarah, for giving me that opportunity. I really do thank them for what they have done and what they're doing now. They support my efforts. Shout out to Mr. JD for items that he was able to get to me to donate in my next venture that I'm telling you about here in a moment. So have to give them kudos to because they allowed me to sit here in this seat and do it on the radio. So thank you to them. Also, I'm gonna shout out my wife as well, because for me to do what I do, I have to have support, and I'll be honest. Sometimes it's a little battle to get that support based on the subject matter, if you will, because we are both strong-minded people, and we both believe that things should be done that way, or the other way, and sometimes our way of thinking doesn't line up. And I tackle some very, very deep subjects that a lot of people will run away from and won't talk about. I will talk about it. And I don't mind talking about it. I don't have a problem with talking about the hard issues, if you will. And, with my wife, she's always concerned about, what is your job going to say? Think about you saying this, that, and the other. What is this? What is that? And I always tell her, my response to her is, I'm just reporting the news. I'm reporting what's actually happening in our community. I'm reporting the truth. Nobody can get mad at me. My job can't do anything to me for telling the truth. Now, if I go out and I say something about my job or whatever, to slander them or slander their name or what have you, and make up falsehoods against them, that's one thing. But if I'm going out and I'm telling the truth about whatever subject that I'm talking about, and it's truthful and I can back it up with factual evidence, if it's newsworthy, then that's what I do. I'm a media source, and the media can't pick and choose what they should report. If you're a media source, you should report everything. And even though you in a matter of an hour, can I get everything in? I have topics that I go by. So can I talk about everything in one night? But whatever I do talk about, there's content, there's a factual basis to it, and that's what I do. And sometimes it's a little too raw, if you will, for her. And she sometimes think I shouldn't say this and I shouldn't say that, but I keep telling her, I am a media source. I am a source of information. As long as I'm telling the truth, then I'm good. So, but shout out to them. Also, as I do in the beginning of all my shows, every show, I want to thank the audience that listens. And oftentimes, we broadcast on Facebook just as a extra measure, if you will, an extra outlet. We are online radio. We are with WPMMradio.com. We are online radio, but we put it out on Facebook just to broaden our audience. So we do that as a courtesy, if you will. And we have been incorporated the YouTube channel. We've started the YouTube channel where you can go to YouTube and see not just this show, but prior shows as well. So also, a couple other social media sites that I can't work as well. I think Twitch and something else we're on. I think we got kicked off of Twitter. I might be the reason for that. I'm sure I'm the reason, because I say what I want to say. And my platform is for you guys. I do this for you. So you're just joining me. If you're just joining me, we're talking about the 3 years, coming up on 3-year anniversary of The Truth with G. 850-221-0396 is the number to call. 850-221-0396. If you want to show a brother some love, just pick up the phone and give me a holler. 850-221-0396. And throughout this show, we've done some different things. Even like Mr. John brought up, I was trying to came up with ideas on what to do with the community and try to get the community things to do. And we actually started a year or so ago. We started a karaoke night. It's been a little over a year ago. We started karaoke night, and we was doing it when we was in the older building. We started doing the karaoke, and it went well. And then we had to. Then we moved, and after we moved, we didn't have the space to do the karaoke night. Also in the old building as well, it was large enough to where we could host, the town hall meetings as well. And we did that. We've done a lot. We've been out and about. Anytime that I'm out somewhere, in the community or what have you, I always, go live to let you guys know where things are happening, what's happening, just to keep you informed. My latest, let's talk about a couple things that I've done in the past as well. Again, we're just going down memory lane, talking about the 3 years that I've been on doing this show. We've did feeding families for Thanksgiving. We did that, for 2 years. And with that, what I did with that is that, not only I went in my own pocket, but had people donated to the cause. And what I was doing was asking for people to submit the names of families that were in need. The head of the family submit that name, a phone number, and it was on the honor system, because I expected for people who really needed help to put Thanksgiving dinner on the table. That was the whole purpose. So people names were submitted, and what I did is all the funds that were collected for this venture, tallied it up, and we distributed $100 gift cards to each family. And we bought as many cars as we had money, and even the leftover money that we got, that we got donations the night of the giveaway. And as the donations came in, we if it was $35, we like, okay, now we have $35. We're gonna give away a $35 gift card to the next caller, or what have you. So we gave out everything that we collected, and like I said, we did that for 2 years, and it went well. We're coming up. We're in July now. We're at the end of July. I think we're 4 months away from November for Thanksgiving, and we'll see how things go. if we're going to do it this Thanksgiving. But here's the thing. For me to do something like that, my pockets aren't that deep. If I could go in my own pocket and fund these type of things myself, I promise you I would. But I need help doing these type of things, and I ask my listeners, my audience, for that help. And you guys have been great up until this point. So we did that for 2 years, and here's what we're doing right now. And this is to celebrate my 3rd year anniversary. I decided that I did not want to make it about me. Didn't want to make it about me. I wanted to make it about other people, about helping people. Because, I'm in a situation where, thank God that I have a roof over my head. I can, I'm not well off by any means, but I'm okay. And a lot of people aren't okay. And I started going downtown more in the last year or so. I started going downtown Pensacola quite often. And I kept seeing these people downtown Pensacola that were homeless. I mean, there's a lot of homeless people downtown. You'll be amazed if you spend time down there. Prior to about a year or so ago, I would venture downtown, but I would kind of just drive through downtown. Only time I would stop in downtown Pensacola was, usually if there was a parade or something going on, or, I would go through when they started gallery night or something like that. But I didn't like just hang out downtown. And the more I venture downtown, the more I start hanging out down there, I started seeing all these homeless people. And where I was working, the past few years where I was working in that particular area, there was a homeless shelter near where I worked. And I would see a lot of homeless people in and around that area. And I always wanted to do something. There's times where I would see someone, at a light or whatever. If I had any money in my pocket or whatever, what have you, I would give them some. There's been times where I would go to get me something to eat, and I would walk out of a restaurant or get in my car, and the first thing that I see is somebody homeless that's asking for food, asking, for something to eat or whatever, and I would give away my food. And I would do that knowing that I still had the means to go and buy something else to eat. But those people that are in that situation don't have that. So, for my 3rd year anniversary, what I decided to do was to help the homeless people, our homeless community. These are people that didn't necessarily become homeless because they wanted to be. They came homeless by circumstance. In our homeless community, we have a lot of people with mental issues, which led to their being homeless, not having the resources to get assistance or get help with their mental issues. And they can't hold jobs and this, that, and other, and they find themselves on the streets. And the reality of the situation is that the average person is like between 1 and 2 paychecks away from being homeless themselves. People that are living right now, paying a mortgage or paying rent. If they lost their jobs and they missed 1 or 2 payments, 1 or 2 paychecks, they would also be looking at the risk of having to be evicted and to be homeless as well. So, so if you have to give, and I know it's hard, you don't always have money to give away and this, that, and other, because, you got your own bills, you got your own life to live, this, that, and other. But anytime you get an opportunity to help someone and it's not going to put you in a bad situation, always do. Always help. but I just wanted to do something for the community, and when I started to think about what I was going to do for my anniversary, I wanted to make sure that I took care of the most vulnerable people or the most needy people, to do something for them. You know, with the Feeding Families for Thanksgiving, yes, that went to a very good cause. Those people needed that assistance, but those are the people who had a refrigerator to when they went out and bought that food with that $100 gift card. They had a refrigerator to put that food into. Now I'm trying to help people who don't have a refrigerator, who don't have a home to do anything with. So with that, I'm still taking donations up until Saturday. The 30th is the last day that I'm taking donations. Taking donations through the Cash App, which is $GRAH67. It's the Cash App you can give to. Also, you can donate items, and the next day or two. I need to. If you're going to donate personal items, toiletry items, things of that nature, you can bring them to the station. We're on Michigan. Dang it, I shouldn't even said that because I just forgot the address. But the Cash App is $GRAH67. $GRAH67. That's you can give through Cash App there. All the monies that is collected will go towards buying items that the homeless can use, from toiletry items, personal hygiene items, to socks, to blankets, nutritional type snacks, things of that nature. And all that's going to be packed up, and it's going to be distributed around town by yours truly. Me personally, I would be going around town and giving these items out to our most needy neighbors, if you will. So, and while I'm talking about this, I want to definitely shout out to one individual. Individuals, everybody that is affiliated with Casting Flights downtown Pensacola. But Mr. John McCorvey, if anybody's listening and you know John, tell him to tune in right now if he's not already listening. But Mr. John McCorvey at Casting Flights has been phenomenal in my efforts to do what I'm trying to do. I want to thank anybody, and first and foremost, I want to thank anybody and everybody that has given anything. I don't care how small it was or how big it was. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for contributing to the cause. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And those people are, I don't have to put names out there. Those people know who they are. The ones that has been willing to give. And I also thank those ones who had the desire to give but didn't have the means. Thank you for even giving the thought of wanting to help. I appreciate that as well. That will go a long way with me as well. But Mr. John McCorvey at Casting Flights has been phenomenal. He has allowed me to come in his establishment and take donations at his establishment, and the people that were at Casting Flights for the past couple of weeks on Wednesday night, kudos to you guys. I love you guys. Even if I don't know your name or what have you, I love all of you because you guys really, really helped out in your generosity and giving to this cause. You have made a whole lot of homeless people feel just a little bit better because they're going to receive just a little bit more than what they had. The people down at Casting Flights has been great. The staff down there has been great. To me, Mr. John, Frank, Miss Cleo down there, the bartender, the other bartender, I apologize, I don't know her name. But they just have been phenomenal, and I want to give a shout out to them. And if you don't know who is John McCorvey, he's the owner of Casting Flights. Casting Flights is downtown Pensacola. It's a wine tasting room that they hold different types of events down there. But it's a great place to go. It's a great atmosphere. He is the only black owner of establishment down there on Palafox Street, downtown Pensacola, and his generosity has just been phenomenal. I thank him so very much because he didn't have to do it, but he did. So shouts out to you, Mr. John. I appreciate you, and we'll be in contact here. Definitely I'll see you Wednesday night. But it has been great. And, I reached out to, also via social media, I reached out to a lot of people, individuals, businesses, whatnot. And, everybody do what they do. I'm not faulting anybody or trying to jump on or blame anybody for not doing something or what have you. If you had it to give, you gave, thank you very much. If you didn't have it to give, thank you as well. And if you just didn't want to give, that's okay. You have that right. I'm not mad at you. But we have to support efforts when people are doing good, if you will. When people try to do good things to help other people, you ought to be willing to, if you're able, just be willing to help out. But shout out to the whole gang at Casting Flights, from the owner down to all the patrons as well. They have been wonderful down there. So, but that's what I'm doing for my anniversary. I will be taking donations up until donations up until Saturday. That's the last day that I'll be taking donations. The Cash App is $GRAH67. Again, $GRAH67. Just hit me up. Just hit me up. Anything helps. That's the theme of this. That's the theme of the giveaway. Anything helps. And I came up with that because every time I roll by someone, sorry, I had to answer something there and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, what I was saying is every time that I roll up on someone, when you're driving down the street and you pull up to the light, and you see somebody standing there with the sign, the majority of the time that sign says everything helps. Anything helps. That's my bad. It says anything helps. And, when you're in that type of situation, that's exactly what they mean. Anything helps. And I'm just trying to do something to put something in their hands to help them in their situation. Again, I'll be doing all kind of toiletry items, from soap, to toothpaste, toothbrushes, combs, socks, t-shirts, shampoos, what have you, nutritional type snacks, might throw some goodies and, some not so nutritional snacks in there, so people can have something to eat. Because, when you're homeless and you're struggling, it's times where you may not have nothing that day. So we're going to make sure that there's something in those packages that we give out. It's going to be something in those packages for them to put on their stomachs as well. Bottled water, things of that nature. And all this is going to happen because of you guys, the ones who have given and has donated to this cause. But I thank you. Once again, I thank anybody and everybody who has helped, who has donated, who has still will donate. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I couldn't do it without you guys. And it's like I say, 3 years on this show. It's been a wonderful ride. It's been a wonderful ride. And I And I thank you. I'm humbled. I'm overjoyed. I'm happy to be here to talk to you guys, and it's whatever I can help with, just let me know. Whatever if you need to find out information about something, you need me to talk about a certain subject, just let me know, and I will definitely do the research and get you answers, because we don't get that from mainstream media, if you will. We don't get that personal attention. We don't get the news that talks about us a lot. So 3 years on The Truth with G. As of the 30th of this month, it'll be 3 years. Thank you so very, very much. It is time for me to get up out of here. But I want to thank you so very much for being so diligent and listening to the show, supporting the show, supporting my efforts to help other people. I appreciate you guys. I promise you I do. I appreciate each and every one of you. Once again, shout out to Mr. JD and Ms. Sarah for putting me on, giving me a platform, giving me a place to speak on these issues. I really do appreciate it. So, but it's time for me to get up out of here. I will be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday, and Monday I'll be telling you about what has taken place over the weekend in regards to the efforts that helping the homeless, because I will be going shopping this weekend to get the items that we're going to need to pack these bags. If you know anyone, if anybody can get a hold of some of the drawstring type bags, I'm still seeking some more of those. I have some people who have donated a few of those bags. I am seeking more. So if you have anyone or know anyone that has connections to the little drawstrings type bags, or backpacks, some people call them backpacks, please hit me up on my Facebook Messenger and let me know. But I am looking for people to help me with that situation as well. So shout out to the ones who have helped me out. Miss Vicky and Pastor Davis has been generous in their contribution in some bags. But I do need more. I do need a few more, if you will. And I'm trying to get to a goal. I'm trying to get to where I pass out X number of bags, and I want to be able to fill each and every one of them. So if you have any connections to drawstring bags, hit me up on my messenger. TTWG Graham is the Facebook tag. $GRA867 is the Cash App to donate up until the 30th. And we're going to make it do what it do. So once again, thank you for listening. I will be back on Monday. You guys have a safe weekend. Be responsible. Don't do anything to get yourself in any kind of trouble. And because I want to see you on the other side. I don't want to see you in no trouble. Don't want to see you in the hospitals. Don't want to see you locked up. So be responsible in what you do. So until Monday, you guys be safe. Y'all be blessed. I am out of here.